Wow, I am incredibly excited to talk to you about today's bike because, well, first off, just look at it. This is a brand new prototype bike from Cube. It's the Aerium C68X, and it's none other than Lucy Charles-Barclay. Well, as I said, this is a new prototype bike from Cube. It's the Aerium C68X. I don't have an official date for the launch or production of this bike. I guess the obvious change on this bike is the disc brakes, but there's far more, which I will get into very shortly. But first off, let's just admire this paintwork. I know I've said it before, my favorite paint job, but this is honestly the favorite paintwork yet. It is what they call their chrome pink paintwork. They've got slight glitter in there that you'll probably be able to see in the sunlight here, and they've also kind of outlined some of the contours and edges, and it looks absolutely amazing. Now, interestingly, despite Lucy actually being 170 centimeters tall, around 5'7", she's actually riding this size XS, which is possibly on the small side for her, but she's thinking about aerodynamics, and clearly she's made it work. So she's actually been working with Cube for the last couple of years. In fact, won the Ironman 70.3 World Championships last year in 2021 on the previous iteration of this bike, the rim brake bike. Obviously now we have disc brakes, as I mentioned already, but there are still some similarities to that previous bike. We've still got the twin head tube design that you can see up here, which is pretty funky. It stands out quite a lot. That just helps to control the airflow through the bike and improves its stability in crosswinds. With the disc brakes, they've been able to actually increase the depth or the sort of the width of the forks just here. We've still got this large area here down by the bottom bracket that blends nicely into the seat stays, but we've also got an interesting feature going on down here. So I think it's time we move on to the front end. So starting with the base bar, because that is actually slightly updated to the previous model. It's slightly thinner in its profile. We've also got this curvature on the edge here, and I believe it's also going to be available in a couple of options on its production model. Obviously, for the pros, they're opting for the lowest and a more aggressive position, but there will also be a slightly more angled and less aggressive position. Then, as with her previous bike, actually, we've got these custom-made Cube Aero bars. So these are ergonomically fitted. They're made literally from computer modeling. I've got to say, it actually feels quite nice. Fits me too. Then, this is where things get interesting. So we've got the hydration setup. This is actually similar to the previous model. We've got this front hydration system that fits in between the Aero bars. We've got the straw coming up from the front down onto the magnet, but that magnet also can flip forwards to open up the refill section, and then you close that, the magnet will go back down. Simple, but really smart. Then, coming back from that, we've got this bento box, which obviously Lucy is opting to run both of these. You can actually remove the whole system. You can just remove the bento box, but this is where things really get interesting, because now you can see this straw coming up from the bento box. Now this goes all the way down into the frame, and we've got a bladder down here. And currently the bladder on this bike stores around 750 mil. As I mentioned already, Lucy is obviously running the XS, the smallest frame size, but on some of the larger frame sizes it'd be around 850 mil, or at least that is what it is at the moment on these prototype models. May change, may not. And obviously that bladder can be removed. There's a little connector just down here, so nice and easy to access, nice and easily to remove. I'm not going to do that though on Lucy Charles's bike just days out from the race, so you just have to take my word on that one. And now moving on to some of the componentry and group sets. So Lucy's running Shimano Dura Ace Di2 on this bike. Before we get into kind of the ratios and stuff, a really interesting thing on this bike is if you did want to run a one-by setup, which Lucy has done quite a lot in the past, you can easily just remove the front mech and Cube supply a plate that actually fills this void where the front mech would have gone. So it looks nice and sleek, clean, and of course, nice and aero. Interestingly though, Lucy has opted for a 2x setup here and a meaty one. She's got a 58-44 ratio on the front. That's teamed to an 11 30 cassette on the rear. She's running 170mm crank lengths, and she's got the Wahoo Speedplay power pedals. And then, of course, you can see this nice Ceramic Speed OSPW jockey wheel on the back with the aero cover and with the slogan, Racing Girl is back. How cool is that? And then for the wheels, we've got a DT Swiss Arc 1100 wheel set here. We've got 50mm on the front and the 80mm on the rear, opting for a slightly shallower front wheel with the renowned crosswinds here in Kona. Interestingly, running a 28mm tyre on the front and the rear, although I have heard maybe that'll be a 25, but may just stick with the 28. Those are the Swalby Pro 1 TT tyres, prototype tyres, and set up tubeless. And then finally, Lucy's running the ISM PN 1.0 saddle, which we've actually seen her running on her bikes for a long time now, having done a few of her pro bikes over the years. But coming off the actual seat post, Cube have got this really fancy design with a little bracket that comes out from the seat post, which then is allowing her to whack 2 bottle cages on there. She's got the X-Lab Chimp bottle cage, which is nice and tight, so hopefully won't get any bottle rockets. And then finally, we've got this lovely decal on the top with Lucy and then her dog, Lola. Okay, finally, let's get the weight of this and a free hub sound check. Here we go. $10.3. That's pretty good. All right, free hub sound check. Here we go. Well, there we go. That's Lucy Charles-Barclay's bike, the new Cube Aerium C68X prototype bike. I'm really excited to see this when it comes to production. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If so, please do give it a thumbs up, give it a like, get involved in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think to this chrome pink paintwork. Pretty good in my opinion. If you aren't doing so already though, make sure you hit that globe and subscribe.